Hello, buddy. I'm back again. Once again, you get to see this beautiful mug. Uh, Today, I'm posing the question: should apps, or maybe your phone or what have you, be used in taking the journeyman's exam? You know, the journeyman's exam is it's more about how fast you can find the answers in the code book. It yeah, the speed and accuracy, whatever you, if you could pick out the key words to it in the code book, shows how 2014, yeah. But anyways, say they allow you to have tabs, but you can't mark inside the code book, and the tabs to get you there faster. All right, great. Now, see, my thing is it being a speed thing. It's not about understanding it. You're finding keywords, and these keywords, you look in the back of the book, you look at the front of the book, then you find the section, the article. It's tough, and then they try to trip you up as well. So, but before we dive into that too, like everybody knows Mike Holtz. He's a guru. He helps to write the code books. Him and I, talked a little bit, and that's how I'm doing some of his questions. Mike Holt's code word of the day. And so it's to look it up, to understand it is tough. So what Mike did is he went ahead and created a new code book. It's the exact same code book, but now it has pictures, illustrations of what it is. So you can understand what the questions are. They make the questions so hard to even understand. I've got a contractor's license in 2 states, and I mean, it's tough. It's a tough exam just because of how they word it and they try to trick you. Okay, so Mike Holtz creates this book, and you can get it at mikeholtz.com. It's great. I mean, I'm telling you, but you need these pictures. Sometimes, people with ADD or what have you can't quite look up or understand things. Like me, I get tripped up anymore. Brain fog or what have you, or hangover, who knows. But so I use this app. It's called Ask Bonbon, and it's an AI generated code book app. I mean, it's amazing. You ask it anything, and it gives you, so much information. It'll give you the answer, then how you found the answer, the articles, the sections, related questions to it as well. And this app, though, so why couldn't we have those use this app to take the journeyman's exam? If you're asking me the barrel depth underneath the driveway, what does it matter how I got there? I got there with the code book, or I got there with an app. God bless it. Oh no. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. But what's it matter how you got there? So I found the depth. Okay, 18 inches. Did I get it right, or did I? I mean, the speed of the code book. Yes, you need to do other things like math and stuff like that, motor calculations or what have you. That's great. But code questions themselves, truly, I think that apps, they need to, I don't know, maybe rethink it. Because I can get through this code book and I could find it fast enough, and they got me timed, and the tables. If I need to know the expansion of PVC. Now that's a tough one. Per foot size, for whatever heat. Same thing with different wire types and stuff like that. Of course, you're a pro. I know how to navigate through this. It's something that we all have to do. But again, if you could find the answer, like I say, that Ask Bonbon. I'm on the job site. I just pull up my code book, or just pull that out, and any question that I have, it's right there. Do I have to go rummaging through my code book? I could, but on the fly, I'd rather use the app any day of the week. I still got the code question right. So now I'm right. I'm correct. And so if the inspector has an objection, all right, well, here's my app. Well, here's my code book. We arrive at the same answer. Then I think that it should be allowed in there. It's people might look at it as taking the easy way out or what have you, but it's not. Yeah, it's the easy way out. So and we're saving time, right? What is time? Time is money. So, we save time, we make a little bit more, and we can get tacos and beer like that. It makes it a lot easier on us. But anyways, that's my take on it. I wish there was more people over here in the chat that would pipe up what you think. But this Ask Bonbon app, I don't know if there's any other ones out there, but it's great. So yeah, check it out. If you go in the description, go to Ask Bonbon. I put in Starving Electrician. I'm working with them now because I just think that it's a great app. And then, but I think that these apps should be allowed in, or your phone or whatever. But these apps should be allowed to take the Journeyman's test. Then, if you don't like it, then create a different type of test, something that truly tests your skills. When I was coming up, they had a parts board. Each one of the parts were like 1 point. When I took my Journeyman's exam in Livonia, Michigan, this was in 90 something. But they had like even the wire size, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6. So what you did is to study for that, because you need to just be able to identify those wires, you'd put like a piece of paper with tape around it with like number 12, and you cut little pieces of wire, put the paper and the tape, and you get all those pieces of wire and stick them in your pocket, and then you feel them. You're like, oh, number 10. You pull it out. So now I've done that for so long. That's how I can determine wire size, just by feeling it. Well, and by looking at it too. But you get really good at it. But there's different parts boards. So they had like Romex, this non-metallic sheet cable on there, but you have it on your test, and you need to know the technical terms for these. They had explosion-proof fittings. They had bonding bushings, concentric knockouts, and that's a good way to test that you've been in the trade a while. Going through the code book and finding the answers on something that they're trying to trip you up on. In life, nobody's trying to trip you up on electrical. You're wiring some switch gear. You need to know how to ground it, to bond it, what size it is. All right, cool. But the tripping you up thing is what trips me out, I guess. But it's find something different. Maybe wiring up a panel or something.Maybe bend pipe. Use different types of vendors. There could be a million different things that you could do aside from the speed of looking up code questions. When the last time I took my contractor's exam here in Vegas, they were pounding they're doing roofing right on top of me on a metal roof. Totally threw me off. I failed by a question, and I went back to the board. I'm like, man, you got to let me take this test again. I mean, luckily they did, because it's like, wow, it was really distracting. But that's because I'm distracted, and I've got a race to look through the code book. And again, if I need to know a burial depth or something or other, why shouldn't I just have an app? And then I could just look that part of it up. So I think they should really have more of a skill set type thing for the Journeyman's exam. Who knows? Maybe even different ones for commercial, residential. I don't know. That gets confusing. But if you're just a residential guy, and then you have the hours in, you don't exactly know the other parts of the trade. So then you rely on the code book to get your Journeyman's exam for stuff that you've never even seen or done. They have a lot of people out there that teach how to pass the Journeyman's exam. I've seen some of them that like past people who've taken the test have given the answers, and they give you the answers rather than teach you the code or how to look through the code book or what have you. But there's different parts of the trade that you don't know, that these are questions that they give you. It's kind of ridiculous, some of the questions to it. And again, like PVC expansion, stuff like that. Like, when am I ever going to use this? But it's a thing. What if it gets hot and then you mount it on the wall and it starts to droop, and where you need expansion fitting, stuff like that. It's realities. But there's a lot of stuff that us as journeymen have different views on, and if we've seen it out in the trade. So I think a journeyman should be well-rounded, should know the code, but that's what the book is for. You don't have a lot of room for storage in your brain. which I don't. I mean, that shit, that's went bye-bye long ago. So, of course, a code book, but this Ask Bonbon app, it just gets me there quicker, and I don't see the problem with it. So I don't know. I think that they should redo how they take the exam. Maybe look into that first, and allow the app. So then they're like, okay, then you already have the answers. Okay, great. Then don't put that part in it. I don't know. It's a new day. It's a new era. We're in 2026, and AI is everything. So navigating a book. I mean, I get it. You're a purist. This is it. This is the way it should be. Yeah. But again, I mean, it's time. I'm out there with my code book, out in the field, stuff that I just simply don't know. But I could just use an AI generated app. I mean, you can even load pictures and what have you these days, and it gives you so much information to it too. So, but yeah, that's my take on it. I believe they should be allowed in there. But why ask the question if you're going to have it right away? They want you to look through the book in under an hour to find so many questions to it, But I don't know, maybe redo it. I don't know. But again, Mike Holtz created a book with images because they make these questions so difficult. And you're looking for the keywords. And if you're looking at the wrong keyword, you think that you have it. But it's a wiring method. Then you find wiring methods. Okay, is this a wiring method, or are they asking about the PVC itself underground? So you're looking for PVC and polyvolcanic, whatever, to get at that question. So you go into the back of the book and look that up. PVC. No, we're looking for burial depths. But PVC, these are the things that you have to know and navigate. So I mean, it's good to know them, but it's also good to have something at your fingertips. Tofu bunny. I think the test should be done in 2 parts, with and without digital aid. Totally agree, 100%. Yeah, it needs to be more like that. I was going to join the local here in Vegas, and part of their journeyman's exam is like wiring transformers, wiring stop-start stations, and pipe bending. A lot of stuff like that. I mean, be a journeyman, prove you're a journeyman. But again, a residential guy doesn't know how to bend, pipe as well as maybe I would, Where are they going to practice it? But, these are things that journeymen do. I mean, I've seen pipe runs where they're just using all fittings, 90s and stuff like that. But they should, I think, bring back parts board, definitely. So what those parts are. If you don't, you're not a journeyman. If you can't bend pipe, you're not a journeyman. I don't care if you've been in the trade 20 years and you're residential and you're just pulling Romex. Which, hey, I do. I started out in residential, doing custom homes. That was my whole apprenticeship. 10 years of doing residential wiring. But when I got to Detroit, everything's heavy industrial and stuff like that. So when my first job that I went out on, my first call I took, it was an industrial job, a McGraw glass plant. I'll never forget it. And I'm trying to bend pipe, and I couldn't figure it out. I'd never seen any of these hydraulic benders or anything like that. And man, I felt like crying. And luckily my tool partner's like, hey man, you just got organized in, didn't you? Yeah, like, I'll show you. I mean, lucky for him. Otherwise I would just kind of bailed, because my whole background was in residential. I didn't have a journeyman's license in California where I first started out, because they didn't have journeyman's license. So when I get to Detroit, you needed it. So I just studied my ass off, and then that's how I got my journeyman's license. You can't get in the union without a journeyman's license. So that's how I got in. But I could talk the talk, but I couldn't walk the walk, and so pipe bending is a big thing. It's and that's only one thing. I mean, and then how many commercial guys have ever even seen a triple nickel or a one-shot bender, bend that 4-inch rigid PVC coated stuff, explosion proof. I worked in wastewater treatment plants and stuff like that. The scum vaults, oh God, piles of shit and condoms, and But man, I worked them high, hot, and dirty, and stinky, and everything else. But these are my experiences. So therefore, it's easier for me to pass a journeyman's exam than it would, again, like a residential guy or somebody just been doing service, residential service or something or other like that. They're just, pushing in GFIs. So yeah. What'd you say, tofu bunny? When I can, I do 30 degrees for conduit, quick. Yeah, mental math. Yeah, times 2. So that's it. 6-inch bend times 2. Your marks are 12 inches apart. Boom. That's totally, that's my go-to. I've never, I've got 45. Of course, if I'm going to bend a 3-point saddle, we have a 45, but what's half of 45, 22 and a half. And then that's how we get our 3-point saddle. So I have a video on that too, how to bend a 3-point saddle and my long forms. But anyhow, well, that's my take. Leave comments, what have you. That app again, Ask Bonbon. The code Starving Electrician, and it's free for a couple of weeks too when you first get it, and then your promo code will be Starving Electrician, and then check that out. It's on the fly. Again, I'm out there. I'm a contractor, so there's something that I use it a lot for like wire sizes, conduit fill, stuff like that. As stuff about derating. So again, how many people are going to use derating, but as derating, so how many conduits or how many wires can go in this conduit. I've got 4 number 8s, 10 12s, then what size conduit can I use? And then it breaks it down, explains it to you. It's derated down to this. And so it really takes the guesswork out of it. So yeah, I'd check it out if I was you guys. So, but anyhow, that's my 2 cents. Thank you guys. I know I've been trying to do some, fun stuff, tales from the job. Just let me know what you think and, what you'd like to talk about. And then we can do it. We can talk about it. So we can get serious over here. All right. So thank everybody for showing up. I really appreciate it. Tofu Bunny, I appreciate you. And thank you so much, you guys. Okay. Take care.